Did you know that your brain is constantly rewiring itself every single moment you're alive? This phenomenon, called neuroplasticity, means that every time you learn something new, read a book, or even have a conversation, your neurons forge fresh connections. Scientists once believed the adult brain was fixed and unchangeable, but we now know that's completely wrong. Your 3-pound organ contains roughly 86 billion neurons, each capable of connecting to thousands of others. That creates a network more complex than any computer ever built. The very act of you watching this video is physically reshaping your brain right now, creating tiny pathways you'll carry forever. Here's something that'll blow your mind. Your brain doesn't actually store memories the way a camera stores photographs. Instead, every time you recall a memory, your brain reconstructs it from scratch, piecing together fragments scattered across different regions. This means each time you remember something, you're slightly rewriting it, like a game of telephone played with yourself across years. That childhood memory you treasure. It's probably been altered dozens of times without you ever realizing it. Your brain prioritizes the gist of events over precise details, which is why eyewitness testimony is notoriously unreliable. Your memories feel solid, but they are surprisingly fluid creations. You might think your brain works hardest when you're solving problems or concentrating, but it's actually incredibly busy while you sleep. During deep sleep, your brain replays the events of your day, transferring important information from short-term storage into long-term memory. This is why pulling an all-nighter before an exam often backfires spectacularly. Even more fascinating, scientists discovered that sleep activates a cleaning system called the glymphatic system, which flushes out toxic waste proteins that accumulate during waking hours. So when people say they need to sleep on a decision, they are tapping into genuine neuroscience. Your brain literally does its best filing overnight. Your brain is an absolute energy hog, and the numbers are staggering. Although it makes up only about 2% of your total body weight, it devours roughly 20% of all the energy you consume every day. That's why thinking hard can genuinely leave you feeling exhausted and craving sugary snacks. Your neurons fire using electrical impulses, and collectively they generate enough electricity to power a small light bulb. The brain never truly rests either, burning calories around the clock even while you're fast asleep. So next time someone tells you that thinking isn't real work, you can confidently tell them otherwise. Have you ever wondered why you can't remember anything from being a baby? This puzzling phenomenon is called infantile amnesia, and it affects virtually everyone on the planet. Most people's earliest memories begin around age 3 or 4, and everything before that vanishes into a foggy void. Researchers believe this happens because the hippocampus, the brain region responsible for forming long-term memories, isn't fully developed in infancy. Your baby brain was absorbing language, faces, and survival skills at a breathtaking pace, but it simply couldn't archive those experiences as retrievable memories. So those crucial early years that shaped who you are remain forever locked away. Here's a strange one that science still hasn't fully explained. Your brain creates the experience of pain, but the brain itself feels no pain whatsoever. It has no pain receptors, which is why surgeons can perform brain surgery on patients who are wide awake and chatting the entire time. Doctors sometimes do this to map critical regions and avoid damaging speech or movement. Even stranger, the colors you see, the sounds you hear, and the flavors you taste don't actually exist out in the world. Your brain manufactures all of these sensations from raw electrical signals, painting your entire reality from inside a dark, silent skull. Your memory has a virtually unlimited capacity, which sounds almost unbelievable until you understand how it works. Unlike a hard drive that fills up, your brain stores information through patterns of connections rather than discrete files. Some estimates suggest your brain could hold around 2.5 petabytes of data, equivalent to roughly 3 million hours of television. The real bottleneck isn't storage, but retrieval, getting the information back out when you need it. This is why you sometimes know a word is on the tip of your tongue yet can't quite grasp it. The memory exists, you just can't find the right path. Finally, your brain has a remarkable ability called the Tetris effect, where activities you repeat intensely start bleeding into your thoughts and dreams. People who play loads of Tetris begin seeing falling blocks when they close their eyes, and this applies to virtually any immersive activity. It reveals just how deeply your experiences reshape your mental landscape. Your brain also can't tell the difference between vividly imagining something and actually doing it, which is why athletes use mental rehearsal to improve real performance. So be careful what you fill your mind with, because your brain is always listening, always learning, and always becoming whatever you feed it most. Your body contains roughly 37 trillion cells, and every single one of them carries a complete copy of your DNA. If you stretched out all the DNA from just one cell, it would measure about 2 meters long. Multiply that by 37 trillion, and your DNA would stretch from Earth to the Sun and back roughly 600 times. Yet this incredibly long molecule is packed so tightly into each cell nucleus that it's only about 6 micrometers wide. Your genetic code is a storage miracle that modern technology still can't replicate. Here's a fact that changes how you think about your skin: you're literally shedding it right now. Your body replaces its entire outer layer of skin every 2 to 3 weeks, shedding approximately 30,000 to 40,000 dead skin cells every single hour. Over the course of a year, you lose roughly 1.5 kilograms of skin. That dust accumulating on your shelves. A significant portion of it used to be part of you. Your skin is your largest organ, weighing about 3.6 kilograms and covering roughly 2 square meters. Your heart is far more powerful than you might imagine. This fist-sized organ beats approximately 100,000 times every single day, pumping around 7,500 liters of blood through a network of blood vessels that, if laid end to end, would stretch over 96,000 kilometers. That's enough to wrap around the Earth more than twice. Your heart generates enough pressure to squirt blood 9 meters across a room, and it does this without ever taking a conscious break throughout your entire life. Your eyes are processing marvels that cameras can only dream of matching. Each retina contains about 130 million rod cells for detecting light, and 7 million cone cells for color. Your eyes can distinguish approximately 10 million different colors and process visual information so quickly that your brain receives a new image every 13 milliseconds. But here's the twist: your eyes don't actually see in real time. There's a tiny processing delay, meaning you're always experiencing the world about 80 milliseconds in the past. Your brain just makes you feel like it's instant. Scientists recently discovered something extraordinary about your muscles. When you exercise intensely, your muscles release tiny protective bubbles called exosomes filled with genetic material. These bubbles travel through your bloodstream to your organs, essentially sending molecular messages that help reduce inflammation and improve organ function. Your muscles aren't just for movement, they are actually an endocrine organ that communicates with your entire body. This is why exercise improves everything from your mood to your immune system. Your body is constantly having conversations with itself at a molecular level that you never consciously feel. Your bones are engineering masterpieces that rival anything humans have built. Ounce for ounce, bone is stronger than steel, capable of withstanding about 19,000 pounds of pressure per square inch. A matchbox-sized piece of bone can support roughly 9 tons of weight, which is 4 times the capacity of concrete. What makes this even more remarkable is that bone is alive and constantly rebuilding itself. Your entire skeleton replaces itself roughly every 10 years, meaning the bones you have today are completely different from the ones you had a decade ago. Your stomach produces hydrochloric acid so corrosive it could dissolve metal. This powerful acid registers a pH of 1.5 to 3.5, strong enough to burn through wood. The only reason your stomach doesn't digest itself is because it replaces its entire inner lining every 3 to 4 days, faster than the acid can damage it. Your stomach produces roughly 2 liters of this acid every single day. If even a small amount leaked through the stomach wall, it would cause severe internal damage, which is why ulcers are so dangerous. Here's perhaps the most mind-bending fact of all: your body produces enough saliva in a lifetime to fill 2 swimming pools. The average person produces between 1 and 2 liters of saliva daily, adding up to roughly 35,000 liters over 70 years. Your salivary glands are most active in the late afternoon and slow down significantly while you sleep. Saliva isn't just water either. It contains powerful enzymes that begin breaking down food the moment it enters your mouth, and antimicrobial compounds that protect you from countless infections every single day.